Hello, my name is Tomas Francois, and my project this year for the 2019 to 2020 Science Fair was Attitudes Towards a Switch to PLA/hemp as an Alternative to Single-Use Plastic Bags. Originally developed in 1907 by Leo Baekeland, a Belgian inventor, plastic has become an integral part of societies all around the world, especially over the last half century. One specific result of this boost was the invention of the single-use plastic bag, which includes plastic water bottles, plastic grocery bags, and even plastic straws. Because of their ease of use and their disposability, they have become an even greater part, which has also led to a worldwide pollution problem. It was stated that in a study from 2010, 4.8 to 12.7 million metric tons of mismanaged plastic waste, having thought to have entered the ocean. This is a detrimental amount of plastic, especially considering the way it can damage animals. This can happen in two ways: entanglement and ingestion. When an animal gets entangled in plastic, it can affect its development and growth later on in life, and when an animal ingests plastics, it can remain in the stomach of the animal and make it feel full, which then it avoids eating, and this can lead to malnutrition or even starvation. This led me to research solutions, and I came upon biocomposites. Biocomposites are materials whose properties can be tailored based on selective design, processing, and composition. For this study, I focused more specifically on green composites, as there are many forms of biocomposites, and this was the specific one. Green composites are made of bioplastic fused with natural fibers, and for this specific project, again, I used PLA/hemp, which is polylactic acid induced with hemp fibers. The reason I chose green composites was because they are environmentally friendly in the way that they're 100% bio-based, and they reduce the carbon footprint. Now, another reason why I chose PLA/hemp as my specific green composite was because I did a lot of research, and I discovered that it was not only used very much in Europe, as told by my expert advisor Francois, but I also discovered that it was able to act as a strong alternative to traditional plastics. However, when researching more, I could not find a specific product that was a grocery bag, as PLA/hemp is more generally used as an alternative to plastic in automobiles and such. This led to my research question: at what price point would a general population be willing to switch from single-use plastic bags for their grocery bags to using biodegradable bags made from hemp-based green composites? Now, again, because I didn't know the price point of this, I had to find the price point by comparing it to HDPE, which is high-density polyethylene, which is the plastic most commonly found in plastic bags. And once I could compare these prices, I came out with an estimated price of 29 cents. After this, the purpose of the project was to find the interest in the general population to purchase these bags, alongside the price points at which they would stop purchasing these bags, or the maximum they would be willing to pay for the bags. And the hopes of this project, or the hypothesis, was that if a majority population, or greater than 50%, would be willing to pay the 29 cents per reusable PLA/hemp bag, then it would be economically viable to continue research into the topic of hemp as a sustainable alternative to single-use plastics. As I mentioned before, my procedure began with talking with my expert advisor and discovering the price for PLA/hemp. And then, after having gained this price, I created a survey around both the demographics and finding the interest of the general population. And once I had done that, I used a convenience sample through social media to gather as many results as possible. Because of my limited resources, I was not able to use a simple random sample. Overall, I collected 1,945 total responses through Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, and Twitter. And through all these responses, it can be shown that one of the effects of using a convenience sample, and that was that 83.3% of the sample comprised of females, whereas men only comprised 16.6% of the population, and the transgender comprised 0.1%. This indicates a skew in the data towards the female population. However, when we look at ages, we can see that it's from 18 to 83, and there's a general wide distribution with the largest age group being from 27 to 48. This is an example of where my convenience sample did work, as there is a nice distribution between all ages. Moving on to one of the more important questions of the data, this was the varying interests, to see the interest of the population towards buying these plastic bags. Now, the results for this were very positive, with 80.6% of the sample population, or approximately like 4/5, showed a general interest in it, whereas only 4.6% expressed an interest in the product. Moving on to the price points, which is the final question and the most important because it decided whether or not it would be economically viable to sell these plastic bags and to put more research into the plastic bags. I wanted to use mean, median, and mode because as this was self-reported data, I realized there could be some outliers, and my assumption was correct, as there is an outlier here that says somebody put that they would pay $100 per bag, and this skewed the mean greatly, saying that the mean was 125 cents, whereas when we look at the median and the mode, it's actually 50 cents. And then finally, the last chart on here is the percentage of people who would be willing to pay over this 29 cents. And this, in conclusion, answered the hypothesis as 53.9% were willing to pay over 29 cents. And because of this, this supported my hypothesis. And despite there being limitations due to convenience sample, the data still shows that introducing PLA/hemp as grocery bags makes a strong alternative and an economically viable choice for grocery stores. Future directions for this project are to put more research into developing and actually manufacturing a plastic bag to test it for its functionality in holding grocery bags, as again I mentioned, this product does not exist. Next would also be to show my findings to both grocery stores to market the product to them instead of consumers, as well as to try and reopen certain processing plants that used to process hemp but were closed down due to lack of investment. Thank you very much.